Hello everyone, today's video will be about another interesting movie from Korea. This movie is an action and mystery movie genre titled The Witch, Part 1, The Subversion, which was released in 2018. Well then, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. We can see from the title, this movie is related to magical stuff. This movie focuses on the main character Ja-yoon, who has a superpower. She got the superpower from a brain genetic engineering research, as she is the subject of the experiment. The first scene of the movie shows a doctor named Beck instructing her underlings to kill every experiment subject that is still alive. The subjects are young girls and we have no idea why she wants to kill these children. Two experiment subjects manage to escape from her. The first one is a boy named Nobleman. He gets caught by Dr. Beck's underlings. The next scene we see a girl running away while bleeding. She runs as fast as she can to a village, but before she can ask for help she has already passed out. Not long after that, a man finds her and brings her away. He is the owner of the house which is near where she was passed out. He is confused on what he should do, so he tends to her until the doctor comes. The next morning, the doctor comes and tells the man and his wife that the girl has amnesia. She doesn't remember her name, so the couple gives her a name, Ja-yoon, and adopt her. 10 years later, we see Ja-yoon has grown up into a fine young lady. She is a very wise and reliable one. She always helps her parents with their work. As time goes by, her parents got sick and their financial condition declines. They have no other choice but to minimize their expenses and save more money. One day, Ja-yoon feels that her head hurts very badly. She has had the same headache before, but she lets it be and hopes it will be gone soon. She tries to find information about the headache on the internet and wants to solve it by herself. The next day, she goes to school and plays with her classmate just like a normal high school girl. We see Ja-yoon with her friend named Myung-hee, the daughter of a police officer who is a friend of Ja-yoon's parents. That's why both of them are very close friends. On the bus, Myung-hee shows Ja-yoon a video of a talent competition on the internet. The competition has a very big reward for the winner. And she wants Ja-yoon to join it so that she can get the money and use it to pay for her parents' debt. Long story short, she gets into the quarterfinal as she is a very clever person. She is also the top ranking in the class. Her parents are very happy with her achievement. Ja-yoon's family watch her on TV as the competition is held live. Ja-yoon can also do magic tricks, and that is why the audiences call her as the witch. Her parents feel upset after seeing her on the television. Ja-yoon's mother tells her that she should hide her uniqueness from the others. She also explains to Ja-yoon that there are people who hate someone who has unique abilities. Now we discover that Ja-yoon has unique abilities like that of a witch. The night comes, Ja-yoon feels another headache before she goes to sleep but still keeps it to herself. On the next day, Ja-yoon and Myung-hee go to Seoul for the next round of the competition. We can see that the two girls are very cute and cheerful just like normal girls their age. Their happiness goes away as a man recognizes Ja-yoon. Ja-yoon freezes up as she doesn't know who the man is. He even reveals that Ja-yoon is actually a witch. From the scene we know that she is not an ordinary girl. The man even tries to slap her so she can regain her memories. He stops when seeing Ja-yoon crying and frightened. Myung-hee screams out for help after witnessing Ja-yoon in trouble. After that, the man goes away from them. It turns out that man is not a normal person, he is the nobleman. We can see how easy it is for him to kill a human, as he was also one of the experiment subjects. The scene moves to the talent competition. We see Ja-yoon finally wins the competition. On her way home, she feels the headache again and even has a nosebleed. She then goes to a doctor who he diagnoses that she doesn't have much time to live, only a few months more. The doctor needs to do a spinal cord surgery on her, but her parents need her to donate their spinal cord and transplant it to her. She rejects it and hides her disease, saying that her parents are sick now. Myung-hee asks Ja-yoon to take a rest after seeing that she was in pain, however Ja-yoon says she is fine. When they both want to go home, a group of people approach them. Surely, they are Dr. Beck's underlings who want to take Ja-yoon away with them. Fortunately, Myung-hee succeeded in taking Ja-yoon away. On their way home, Nobleman appears and tells Ja-yoon to come home as soon as possible. He also says that her parents will be dead soon. Ja-yoon rushes home to find her family and asks Myung-hee to call his father and the police. We see Nobleman is already at Ja-yoon's house. He is not alone and is accompanied by 4 underlings. The police stop them near Ja-yoon's house, thus they cancel their action. Not long after that, Ja-yoon arrives in a hurry to see her family, with a bad intuition in her mind. When she enters her house, we see that her parents are pretty much fine and unharmed. Myung-hee's father tells Ja-yoon to be careful as he thinks the people back then were very suspicious. The scene moves to the nobleman and his underlings. He now wants to kill the professor who works for Dr. Beck back then. We see the power of nobleman's henchmen. This woman kills the professor and his family very easily. We also witness nobleman's power. He can control a gun and shoots very fast. The next scene we see Dr. Beck talking with Mr. Choi, ordering him to back off from Ja-yoon's case and that she wants to solve it alone. Mr. Choi rejects her and surely Dr. Beck has something in her mind. Mr. Choi now comes to another professor's location. He is the one who works for Dr. Beck before. In this scene, we know that Mr. Choi has a disease in her hand. In order to treat the disease, the professor asks him to bring Ja-yoon's brain as there is the antidote inside of her body. This is the main reason why he rejects Dr. Beck's request before. One night, Ja-yoon suffers again from the pain. At the same time, Dr. Beck's henchmen sneak into her house. These people want to kill Ja-yoon's mother, and after hearing her mother's screaming, Ja-yoon rushes to find her. Suddenly, a gun is pointed at her head. Myung-hee was also caught now. The boss of the group appears, telling her that she once almost killed him and shows his scar on his face. Ja-yoon has no idea and is confused. He also tells her that she is a witch and orders her to show her power. If she resists, Myung-hee will be cut to death. Ja-yoon gets angry and finishes them all in an instant. She also hits the leader a few times to death, thus we know that Ja-yoon is actually very strong. Myung-hee freezes witnessing what Ja-yoon has done, and soon nobleman appears in her house. He asks her to go with him and if she refuses, her parents would be in danger. She has no other choice but to follow him. He also says that Ja-yoon will regain her memories if she goes with him. Before she leaves, Ja-yoon asks Myung-hee to take care of her family for her. We see Mr. Choi coming to Dr. Beck's place and preparing his man. Ja-yoon has now arrived in Dr. Beck's place with nobleman and his henchmen. It turns out that Dr. Beck is already waiting for her, and Ja-yoon gets tied up in a chair with many devices. Ja-yoon is very confused now. Dr. Beck orders her underlings to inject a formula into Ja-yoon. It is the formula to regain her memories, guaranteed to work because Dr. Beck was the best brain surgeon at the time. She was experimenting on a human's brain, a genetic engineering technique to create new genes in a human. The goal was to make a strong and clever human, however only one subject that is almost perfect, which is Ja-yoon. Dr. Beck used Ja-yoon as an experiment subject until one day she became uncontrollable. The government ordered Dr. Beck to close her experiment forever, however she could not do that as Ja-yoon is her biggest experiment she ever had. She let Ja-yoon go and thought that she will die in the wild. Dr. Beck found her location again due to the talent competition before. Ja-yoon begins to feel pain again. Dr. Beck explains that the disease can only be cured by Ja-yoon. If she can't do that, she will be dead for sure. Ja-yoon is getting weaker and is bleeding more now. Dr. Beck tells her underling to inject more formulas to know her. Ja-yoon is different now after the injection, however it only lasts for a month. She needs to inject the formula again if she wants to live longer. The formula also can maximize her power. Soon, she regains her memories and this makes Dr. Beck confused. Ja-yoon explains that she has already set this up in order to get the formula, disguising as an ordinary person. Ja-yoon lowers her so she gives her the antidote for free, and Ja-yoon threatens her to tell Ja-yoon how to make the antidote, or she will kill Dr. Beck. Nobleman and his henchmen rush to Ja-yoon after hearing the commotion. Mr. Choi comes with his gang and stops Nobleman. They have a tough fight there. Nobleman's henchmen can eliminate Choi's army, however shockingly Mr. Choi can kill two of Nobleman's henchmen easily by shooting them in the head. Nobleman now faces Ja-yoon. They both fight. However, it turns out that Nobleman can't hurt her. He even gets beaten up by Ja-yoon. When Ja-yoon aims her gun to Nobleman, Mr. Choi appears and shoots at them both. Dr. Beck feels relieved assuming Mr. Choi was coming to save her, however he also kills Dr. Beck. Ja-yoon smirks at Mr. Choi and kills him in no time. Nobleman is the last man standing now. He lures Ja-yoon by showing the formula she looks for. Ja-yoon rushes to kill Nobleman, however his henchmen are already waiting behind her to stab her. She looks fine like it was nothing. She even stabs back Nobleman and aims her gun again. Nobleman asks her if she will live as the witch again. Ja-yoon replies that she will live as Ja-yoon in the future. Ja-yoon shoots him dead. She retrieves the formula in the safe room and burns the place to ashes. She goes back and gives the formula to her mother. It turns out that the formula also works for her mother's disease. Ja-yoon still has 2 more formulas so that she can live longer. She bids farewell and will come back after everything is done. Her father reveals his feeling before that he was regretting taking care of Ja-yoon, however her mother won't allow that as she was still a child. She even says that Ja-yoon can grow into a fine woman if they take care of her with love, despite her past. Ja-yoon also bids farewell to Myung-hee before she goes away from the city. The movie ends with a scene showing Ja-yoon in a place with a formula maker which is Dr. Beck's sister. Her objective now is to make a permanent formula so she can live as a normal human. That is the end of the movie. Thank you for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Until next time, see ya.